Good morning, Mike and Arlen. Our Philippine journey. We're kind of playing around with the lighting. We've rearranged the landscape on the desk, so I'm still working on stuff. That being said, how much can you afford to spend in the Philippines? This is not a budget video. Not at all. There's thousands of them. And you know what? There are even videos on this topic as well, and they vary greatly. But we're going to give you our thoughts about it. So, and then, you know what? We're going to ask you for your thoughts. I think it's important that we all, as a community, all right, viewers, subscribers, and members, that we all weigh in on this because it's very different. Very, very different from individual to individual. So let's talk about it.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, what am I talking about? Well, what I'm talking about here is simply never put a dime of your money into the Philippines from something you can't simply walk away from. And what I mean by that is property, ownership, vehicles, whatever. Now, let's go through this. When it comes to property itself, and we're not going to get into a big argument, and I know I'll get a ton of comments that are whatever. The only way you, as a foreigner, can own property in the Philippines, you individually, as an individual, all right, it's against the Constitution, the Philippine Constitution, for you to do that. However, in 2022, the Foreign Investment Act allows you in 7 corporate categories. I guess corporate's probably the wrong word. In seven different business categories for a sole ownership foreign corporation to be registered in the Philippines and for it to have all the rights of a Philippine corporation within that business sector. So the downside to that is you better have $500,000 to start it up. You better be willing to set up a company that actually functions legally, that does something in one of those 7 different categories, all right? And then that corporation can own land and property. Now, that just doesn't work for 99.9% of expats, okay? Doesn't work for us. I looked at it in depth. Does not work for us. So, everything else that I invest into this country, whether it's condos for Arlen, whether it's property in the province and a house, whether it's the vehicles, I'm willing to walk away from. It's like mice nuts. I mean, it's in the scheme of things, it's really mice nuts. You've got to be willing to walk away from it as well. All right. If you're not willing to walk away, rent, lease, do whatever. Okay. Don't stick it in there. For instance, in condos. All right. Now, when you buy a condo, you're buying the space that you live in. You're literally paying a homeowners association fee or service fee, whatever your resort calls it, for the maintenance and upkeep of the building and its amenities. Now you have access to all those amenities. Great. Good for you. That's what we're at. We're right where we're at. No different than a condo in the United States or anywhere else that I know of. All right. And those fees are probably subject to change beyond your control. All right. But it is what it is. And so there you go. You have a condo. Now, one of the things about condos people do not recognize, or they don't think of far in advance, or maybe they do. I have no idea. But one of those things is if you're a single guy and you buy a condo and you're like, well, when I die, what am I going to do with this? Well, you know what? Unless it has a source of income to pay those HOA dues, eventually somebody's going to take it from you. The nice thing about condos, the one good thing about condos, is when you die, when you pass away, you don't have to leave it to a Filipino. You don't have to sell it. You can put that condo in, like, for instance, for us, I could put that condo in my daughter's name. I could put it in her name today if I wanted. All right. You could put that condo in her name, and almost every condo project, almost every resort project I know has a, I guess for lack of better words, management group that maintains these condominium units for its owners. And by maintaining that, I mean they're renting them. They're either putting on Airbnb or VRBO, or they have connections with renters or whatever. That money will go right there into your U.S., your whoever's you left the condo to, into their bank account. Now, you may have to pay wire transfer fees or whatever, but you know, how you set up your finances and your banking and everything that goes along with it are different. But the point is that's very possible, and it happens all the time. And to show you, before somebody comments and makes stupid ass remarks, okay? Because we get a few. We get great comments, but once in a while we get stupid ass remarks, okay? A large number of condominium units in the Philippines are owned by REITs, R-E-I-T-S, real estate investment, whatever. They're companies, global companies, okay? Nobody owns that, but the REIT owns it, okay? And the money flows back to them. Now, you're responsible for taxes and everything that goes along with it. I'm not going to get into the particulars of it here, but that's the way it is. Now, a house. Well, I don't know many foreigners that have bought or leased house. You know what? I know a lot of them that have leased houses. And when they're gone, it's gone. There are a large number, and you can see it on YouTube. You see all these people building homes. They married a Filipino. The Filipino, they buy land in the Filipino's name. They do everything the right way. You know, we've talked about this before, researching it, clear title, clean title, resurvey, whole 9 yards, all of that. And then they build a house. Now, some of them choose to say, okay, honey, I bought the land, it's in your name. I'm going to build the house, and you're going to lease. We're going to put a lease between the two of us. I got to be honest. I don't know how that really works. For Arlene and I, our land, our property, our home, they're all in Arlene's name. My name is on it, But I know it's worthless. It means nothing. But I'm willing to walk away from that if something happens. You should be too. You should be willing to walk away from it. All right? Because even if you're not, the amount of difficulty of trying to separate the house from the land in a relationship, and when I mean separated, I mean I'm going to live on my ex-girlfriend's or ex-wife or my current wife that I'm separated from land. Well, good luck with that. That's all I can say. Now, some people will say, well, you know what? That gives you the right to sell the house. Sure, it does. Good luck with that, too. We've got no experience with it. Maybe somebody else does. I have no idea. Now, there is another way to own land. I forgot about it, and I just remembered it, and that's through inheritance. And there are specific rules for that. I'm not going to go into them. That's not what this is about. But it is possible. There are several foreigners that I have spoken with that actually own the land through inheritance. Their spouse died, passed away, God bless their soul. She had nobody else to leave it to, or nobody else that was in the line of succession, children, etc. Because there are laws. It's complicated. The point is, it does happen. Now, that being said, a home. This gets me back to the reality. Don't put a penny into this country you can't walk away from. And if you're going to have a partner, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but if you're going to have a partner, make sure that everything is papered, signed, and fully explained. I'm not going to get into those particulars, but we want to know your comments. We want to know your thoughts. You know, are you aware of the fact that you should keep this in the back of your mind? All right? Are you going to invest in a business here? I don't consider that retirement, but some people want to have a working retirement. So more power to them. Okay? Not for me. Are you going to invest in other things? And then later, I want to know, do you want to talk about in the future what happens when you pass away? What happens to what you have? And then what happens to your current spouse, partner, whatever? Are you providing for them as well? I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. Also, please don't forget, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. We hope you're having a great day.